It's still on the episode around relocation. So we have Mr. George here. He came into the UK as a student. He's been able to transition into a professional career. So we're just going to have a conversation with George and just have an understanding on what he was doing in Nigeria, a bit of backstory, and why he came to the UK, and how he's experiencing the United Kingdom currently. So that's for that. Mr. George, may we know you why? What prior to coming to the United Kingdom, what were you doing back in Nigeria?
Okay, so in Nigeria, I did a lot of things, but primarily I was a secondary school teacher. I worked as a science teacher in a secondary school, and I also worked as a technician in a food processing company. So basically, those were the two things um, that I did while I was in Nigeria before I came over here.
Would you say your background in Nigeria, your experience in Nigeria, would you say it was easy?
My experience in Nigeria.
Or life in Nigeria, do you think it was, what you say it was really comfortable for you? Was it easy?
Uh, Compared to what I've been able to experience here in the UK, life in Nigeria was not bad, but I would say it could have been a lot better.
Better, yeah.
Life in Nigeria is very limited compared to what I've been able to experience here in the UK. Life in Nigeria was very limited. There were a lot of limitations in different areas, career-wise,
Yeah.
finance-wise. One big challenge we had in Nigeria, one big challenge I experienced in Nigeria was something I've come to know as global purchasing power. So you might earn good money in Nigeria, but once you try to
Cross the borders.
yes, purchase something, you find out that it's not worth
It's
it.
not
So
really worth it.
yeah, so it's in response to your question, it's an interesting thing. If you intend to just stay in Nigeria, fine, it's okay, but your life would be limited.
Yeah.
You really wouldn't, yes. But if you try to interact with the rest of the globe, which we should, then I don't think life in Nigeria is the best.
So when was that time in your life you said like you've had enough of it, like you wanted to relocate, and why did you choose to come to the
The
United
time
Kingdom?
in my life that I knew I had had enough and I wanted to relocate was in 2022. 2022 because I had completed 2 degrees in Nigeria, and I was like trying to get a professional job in line with what I studied. But it was very difficult, and the Nigerian system was also part of the challenges I experienced. For example, there was a job I applied for in one of the tertiary institutions, and after writing the assessment, the results came out that I'd scored a particular mark, and I was very happy, expecting to be um, called for an interview and all that. And sometime later, it was said that like the assessment had been cancelled, everything had been cancelled, and they will start again and all that. And
Well, you never did hear from them.
yeah, I never heard from them. I wasn't even shortlisted for the second assessment, and it had nothing to do with me being qualified or not. Like the system just
That's how
wasn't
Nigeria
working.
can really mess you
Exactly.
up.
So
Yeah.
in all this happened like between 2020 2021, but by 2022 I got tired and I knew that I was done with Nigeria, and I decided to come over to the UK. And I chose to come over to the UK because I felt it was a place where I'll be able to pursue my dreams.
And make something out of it.
Yes, make something out of my life. Pursue my dreams in line with the intended career I have for my life, and make something.
You're about medical scientist, right?
Exactly, yes.
And so on the start, when you came into the UK, how was it? How quickly did you really like settled in? How was it your initial first experience you had? Was it easy? First job you did and all that? How was it?
Okay, so in response to that, everyone's experience coming over to the UK is a subjective one. It's different. Certain people come into the UK and they have people who have been here already. Those people put them through and make things easy for them. Others, like myself, come here without knowing anyone and nothing, but you might be lucky to kind of land somewhere that makes it a little bit easier for you.
Was it easy for you
Uh,
coming in?
it wasn't easy, but I'm glad I can say it would have been worse, but
Yeah.
I was fortunate. It wasn't easy.
So what was the first job you did when you got here?
The first job I did was I worked in a manufacturing company.
Also known as
A
factory
job.
work, aka factory work.
Yeah.
No, not they speak big English. Yeah,
Yeah.
aka so
Factory work. So,
was it easy or just tough?
no, never. Of course, a factory job is never easy. You have to do night shifts. It was crazy. Like, okay, let's just be frank. You do night shifts on the factory job, like you'll be working on autopilot, like you're actually sleeping by 1 a.m. 2 a.m. in the
God,
night.
when I begin to think about the things I've done in this country,
Your body is working, but your mind is sleeping. Sometimes you just catch yourself waking up, and I did that factory job for a long time. It wasn't easy. Honestly, it wasn't easy. And it was back in 2023. It wasn't easy, but I would say that it's even more difficult now.
no,
Because, yes, in 2023, as difficult as it was, many of these recent immigration policies that have been passed weren't there. Things really started getting bad towards the end of 2023 and early 2024. So it wasn't easy, but I know it's really tough now for people. Yeah.
who are looking to relocate.
Yes.
Would you say, I mean, like you already had a career path in mind
Yes.
while coming to the UK. I mean, that was one of the reasons you relocated. Would you say that, you know, how were you able to break into
My present
your present career? Yeah, what was the approach for you? Because I know prior to that, how did you go about it?
It took a lot of work. So, before I came here, I already knew what I wanted. We started this whole thing by talking about Nigeria. My career path as a biomedical scientist and a researcher in the life sciences. Nigeria is, like I said again, Nigeria is kind of limited in that area. So I knew what I wanted. In Nigeria, if you don't, in my field, it's either you're lecturing. If you're in the life sciences, it's either you're a lecturer or you work in one of the few government or public owned research agencies that we have. And basically that's it, or you just switch careers and go off on a tangent. So I knew what I wanted to do, and I knew it was like really difficult for me to achieve that in Nigeria. And I came here. Now, coming over from Nigeria to this place, I already had a plan. I already had some kind of structure. Yes, I already had a decent CV experience. I had already done some research work in Nigeria. So that was my foundation, the foundation that I built upon to break into my present career field. Unfortunately, my master's degree helped too. I did some very good research during my master's degree here in the UK on cancer, breast cancer, metastasis of cancer from the breast to the brain. So building upon the experience and structure I had in Nigeria, combined with what I had here, that helped me break in. It wasn't easy. It took a lot of applications. I would say it took close to 100 applications.
Yeah, I did.
or more.
I did over 400.
Exactly. So it took me over 100 applications, and to be honest, around the first 50 or 60 applications yielded absolutely no results. Nothing. I never got a single interview call back. I think I applied almost all through of 2024, not a single interview. It was towards the end of 2024 that I started getting interviews, and I discovered what I was doing right.
Yeah.
Yeah, in terms of my application and everything. And then I started improving, and more applications started coming in. So, and yes, I was able to break in. So basically, the initial part of applications, the initial part of trying to break into this career area was very difficult. No interviews, no responses. But gradually with time, I discovered better application
Yeah.
methods and all that, and it became easier slowly. Yeah, I started getting more interviews, learning from those interviews,
Interviews and
improving my,
improving.
yeah. So yes, the latter part was easier to break in, and yeah, here I am now.
That's all right. So for someone
Yes.
who is coming to the UK now, do you feel my question number one, do you feel it's a good time to relocate, and what's your advice to someone who's looking to move specifically from Nigeria?
It all depends on what the person is coming here to do. So basically, the UK, in all their recently laid out immigration policies and changes and all that, they are looking for a particular caliber of people. They're looking for very
Highly
highly
skilled.
skilled professionals. That's what they need here in the UK. So professionals in the field of healthcare, most especially people, they're looking for professionals in
I
mid-stage career
yeah,
professionals, possibly some people in the later stage of their
career.
career. If you're willing to come here, if you're willing to uproot everything you have and come here, yeah. So for those people, it's advisable, if wherever you find yourself, maybe Nigeria is not working for you, I would advise them to come here. If a professional in the field of healthcare, say maybe you have 15, 20 years of experience in Nigeria, tangible experience, provable experience, yeah, you can come here. It's not going to be easy, but it's a much better place. Advice. Now, for those who are coming in as students, um, again, it all depends on what you're coming to do. It all depends on what you're studying. If you're studying certain courses, it's going to be very challenging. It's not impossible, but you might have to put in double or triple the work. There's already some kind of low level economic recession going on. Getting the little jobs we used to get then and
Was
survive,
yeah, difficult?
it's far more difficult. Even the care and support jobs that
They're not
everyone
like
was
a gold
coming,
mine now.
it's
It's
very
difficult for you
difficult,
to lay your hands on even.
very difficult. And then with the graduate visa thing being cut down from 24 to 18 months, it's even more challenging for anyone who's able to have afford it. I would advise them to, if you're coming as a student, I would advise them to uh, move to other countries where
The immigration policies are
are
easy.
friendlier. Yes, where yes, especially if your intent at the end of everything is to build a career. And yes, we Nigeria is a third world country. Let's be frank. Let's be frank. Nigeria is a third world country. We all know that, developing nation. Raising the amount of money people raise to come here from a third world country, we expect people to raise 15, 20,000 pounds from a third world country, move to a first world country, get a degree, and then go back to the third world country right at the end of that degree. It doesn't make sense.
Doesn't make sense.
Yes, it's not balanced. People who come here should be allowed to gain some kind of career experience, develop themselves for a certain period, and then go back. So, in essence, for those who want to stay, they should be allowed to stay at least for some time. So I would advise, look for a country that is more immigration friendly, that would allow you to stay.
To be fair with
build
you,
your career.
almost all countries in the world are even fighting immigration.
Yeah, the world is very anti-immigration right now. That's just the wave that's blowing, and there are reasons for that, but it's not something we would
talk about,
discuss here.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. George.
You're very welcome.
Yeah, I really appreciate that. I think this is from your own point of view, which is very relevant.
Yes.
And like Mr. George would say, it was not really easy. So he was really kind of like frustrated with the entire system of Nigeria, and he choose, I'm done with this, I need to come.
Yeah.
So if you guys have noticed from all the stories we've been talking about here, it's all about, it's not always easy settling in. But one thing you realize that in the United Kingdom, you will never get a better yesterday. That's one thing in this country.
Yes, that's
it gets
true.
better
With time,
It gets better with
always.
time, but
Yeah.
you must pay your dues. And that's pretty much for all we have to talk on this podcast. I would like you, if you the first time you're coming across this video, I'd like you to drop a comment. I would also like you to like and share. I would also like you to follow us on our Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok across all our social media. Thank you very much. See you in my next video. Bye. Bye.
Bye.